Hey everybody, welcome back to this Extreme Warfare Revenge series. My name is Andy, the Uncommentator, for episode number 13, I think, of this series, where I am booking Control Your Narrative. Now you can see there we're currently on Tuesday the 22nd of April. In real time, as I'm recording this now, it is the 7th of June, so the day of Money in the Bank. I'm not going to give any predictions for that show, other than maybe... No, I'm not going to give any. Let's instead focus on what's going to be happening in this video. And that is as follows. It's going to be a slightly shorter video than the ones that you may be used to if you've been following the series. And that's because we're only going to be booking one show in this video. And the reason for that is because at the end of the last video, I lost one of my TV deals. So I'm down to one weekly show per week as opposed to two. So at the end of the month, at the end of April, I'm going to send out a promo tape. And then hopefully when we get into May, I'll have a new TV deal, and then going forward, I can then plan. I can't plan until I know how many TV shows I've got. That's essentially why I'm only booking one. So we've got one more show to do for April. Then we'll move into May. I'll know then if I've got two or one show a week going forward, and then I can plan. And then we'll be back to the usual 2 shows a week. 2 shows a video, I should say. Whether that be 2 in 1 week or 2 in a fortnight, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Anyway, this video won't be shorter than usual if I keep prattling on, so let's instead get straight on with it. So we need to move on. As I said, we're currently on Tuesday the 22nd. We need to get to next Monday. And if we do that, when we do that, so we'll be able to book our next episode of Disruption. Just keep an eye if anything happens in the meantime. The other thing I'm potentially expecting to happen here is I may get fired. So this may be the last video of the series. So it may not actually matter. There may be no planning to do. But we'll come back to that when we get further into the video. Now, some interesting something's happened anyway. So AEW have signed Mark Schrader. I don't know who that is. They've also signed Jim Smallman. I don't know who that is. They've signed Casey Lynn Di Stefano. I don't know who that is either. I know who Matt Striker is. They've also signed him. Ray Bucanero's gone to Ollie. Azaz Averno. AEW have signed Cash Wheeler to a written contract. Okay, they must have they fired him earlier in the series, now they've rehired him. They've also signed W. Morrissey to a written contract. So on this database, he must have already been there as Big Bill, of course, and they've risen to global levels. So that explains those signings. I'm assuming W. Morrissey must have been working for somebody. And will probably need replacing. Maybe it was Ollie. That's why they signed old Bucanero. They've signed Dan Engler, whose name does ring a bell. Is he a referee? Cinta De Oro has gone to the National Wrestling Alliance. And NJPW have signed Wes Lee to a written contract. Interesting. Texano Jr. has gone to AAA. Interesting stuff. Interesting goings on. That's the end of the news. Yeah, so as I said, this may be the last, if it is episode 30, it may be unlucky, because it may be the last one. I'm potentially going to get fired, but like I said, I'll explain more as to why I think that as we get to the end of the video, at the end of the month. So we've got an incident. An incident on show day. What is it? Is it an injury? No, people annoyed about Jervis Cottonbelly. Well, should we suspend him? There you go. We'll suspend him for a month because he's not booked on this show, so we'll suspend him for a month, then his suspension will be lifted. So we're in a tight ship here at Control Your Narrative. Okay, so it's Disruption Day. Monday is Disruption Day, of course. So before we book the next episode, let's just have a quick recap of where we left off at the end of the last video. So the last show that was booked was last week's episode of Disruption. We kick things off with Sean Morley, Chief Morley, Val Venus, whatever to call him. He came out, and after losing to Shark Boy at Final Command, he said that he would retire if he couldn't beat the next person that walked through the curtain in a match. And of course, Adam Scherr was that person, so that set up that match. Jake Atlas beat Jervis Cottonbelly. Maybe that was why he was kicking off backstage and why he's now suspended. Chris Dickinson did an interview where he basically criticised Patrick Clark and said, commented that what happened to me in Chicago was an accident at Final Command, etc., etc. Joe Hendry challenged Chase Owens to a match. EC3 threatened to make Shark Boy's life a living hell. The Whisper debuted and beat Brian Johnson with a video package for Gable Stevenson, not Chad Gable, Gable Stevenson, and Chuck O'Neill. Just reminding people that they're in a feud. And then in the main event, Joe Hendry believed in himself enough to beat Chase Owens. So that is where we left off at the end of the last video. As I said, going to be one show in this video, and here it is. And it's going to start off with a debut. So it's going to be a debut angle. And it's going to be this one, I believe, the old dueling microphones. Now, a bit of a spoiler there. I was going to say, we're going to spoil this one. So David Finley's not the one who's going to be debuting, but that's a bit of a spoiler. We've hired him. It's going to be a lady called Yuki Kamifuku. And for obvious reasons, and the purposes of saving my embarrassment, I'm just going to call her Yuki from this point forward. So, Yuki, I believe, well, according to the game, is the tag team partner of Mina Shirakawa. I presume they haven't teamed for a while, given Mina's career trajectory, and I've never seen them in Stardom, so yeah. But according to the game, they used to be tag team partners, so she's going to debut, and she's going to interrupt Maki Ito, but it's not going to be, not Mac 10, another spoiler, Maki Ito. So, yeah, so what would happen here, it wouldn't be like the usual thing with Maki Ito where she starts singing and somebody says she's rubbish at singing. Essentially what would happen is Maki would be out in the ring, she'd comment on what happened to Mina getting hurt, say, kind of laughing about it or pretending it's a shame. Then she'd go on to start talking about Chris Dickinson, and that's when Yuki would interrupt her and basically introduce herself and say, I don't like what's been happening to my tag team partner, I'm coming here to, I want to see what's going on, and she's basically going to try and help Mina, essentially. So we're just introducing another character to that particular storyline. From there, we then cut backstage, and we see someone I should say, arriving. I'm booking this segment just to try and keep somebody happy, even though I never can, no matter what I do. So Adam Scher arrives. So basically, maybe, I don't know, one of those big black Chevrolet trucks pulls up. Other car manufacturers are, of course, available. And then Adam Scher gets out, and the commentators say, hey, he could end Sean Morley's career tonight. And yeah, that builds up the main event. But next up, we've got the opening match of the night. And it is between Jake Atlas and Grizzly Redwood. And Jake Atlas is going to win. And yeah, he can win cleanly, why not? No aftermath. And no point to this match. I mean, there is a point, but there isn't one. The purpose is match with a purpose. Yep, so that's that one. Then we're going to go backstage. And a bit of a random angle here. Two partners hanging out, even though they're not really partners. And it is Chris Dickinson and Joe Hendry. So in this segment, you'd see what would happen. I'll probably just scream to the microphone. If I did, I apologise. But in this segment, you'd see Joe Hendry walking backstage. You'd walk past Chris Dickinson, who'd be doing, I don't know, lifting dumbbells or something, whatever muscular people do. He'd shout Joe over or stop him or something, put his dumbbells down, whatever. And then he'd say something like, hey, you beat Chase Owens last week. That was a big win. That was one of the biggest wins of your career. Chase is I've known Chase for years. He's a veteran in Japan. He's had his, to beat him, it's no mean feat. So I just want to say well done. And, keep believing. Everyone else believes in you, and, keep believing in yourself. And Joe just says something like, oh, thanks, I appreciate that. That's really great coming from you. And can I just ask what's going on, what's going on with you and Mina, blah, blah, whatever. And Chris says, well, yeah, nothing's going on with me and Mina. I mean, I wish she'd not got hurt, but, if she's going to be gone for a few weeks while she recovers, I can focus on my career, I can focus on kicking ass, getting back in the ring, whatever. And then they just kind of have a bit of a chat about things in general. I mean, hopefully, the point really of that segment is just to remind people about Mina. Not that we've done it already, with the debut earlier on, and then also... hopefully get Joe over a little bit, and make out that win he had last week was significant for him. Then we've got a singles match. It's going to be another debut in this match. And it's going to be... I think I've ruined this earlier, didn't I? Actually, it's going to be Viano 4. He's not debuting. And he's taking on Mac 10. So Mac 10 is a luchador. Well, he wears a mask anyway. And basically, I needed somebody else to beat. Because I feel like I've got a really small pool of wrestlers that when I need someone to just lose a match, it's Grizzly Redwood, Brian Johnson or Bateman. I mean, Zicky Dice was in that, but he's in rehab at the minute. So, yeah, I've hired somebody else to just basically beat, and it's, unfortunately for Mac 10, is Mac 10. So Viano 4 is obviously going to win this match, and we'll protect Mac 10 a little bit by saying Viano 4 cheats. And then, no, I can't seem to pick Viano 4 as a beatdown for some reason. Okay, well, he does a beatdown even though I can't pick it. And there is no purpose to that match, even though there is. But it will become clear later. I just realised actually there's no Butch Sharper in this show. Oh well. Move on. And we're going to move on to this next segment. It's going to be a fight, continuing a feud. We've got Celebration Ceremony ruined. So we're going to do something similar here than what happened. I think it was Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon did something similar to this this segment. So it's going to be Gable Steveson, not Chad Gable, and Chuck O'Neill. Actually, this is the way around, isn't it? Chuck's the attacker, and Gable is the victim. Edit that out. So what happened in this segment is there'd be a fake sort of Olympic podium in the ring. So you'd have the first, second, and third. The first step would be in the middle. It'd be the highest one, obviously. Gable would come out. He'd get onto the top step, and then he'd say something like, "Oh, I'm a double gold medal winner now. I won a medal at freestyle wrestling at the Olympics, and also, sorry, I got distracted then. And also, I won a medal a couple of weeks ago at Final Command. I'm now a gold medalist in cage fighting or MMA or whatever, because I beat Chuck O'Neill in a cage fight. So to honour that momentous occasion, I'm going to share this ceremony with you all tonight." And then he pulls a medal out out of his pocket that he's made, or that he's brought with him, and then just points to somebody random and says, "Hey, you, come here, you. I'll help make you famous. You put this around my neck." And he gives the medal to the guy. The guy gets in the ring. He gives him the medal, and the guy's got a hood up. So then, as he's about to, before he puts the medal around his neck, he says, "Oh, come on, show a bit of class. This is a prestigious ceremony." And he grabs the guy's hood, pulls it down, and inevitably, it's Chuck O'Neill. So O'Neill then wraps the medal around his knuckles, whacks Stevenson with it, and that basically says, "Hey, this feud's carrying on." So I thought that was a creative little segment, but that's what happens there. I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? When the guy gets in the ring and his face is covered, you already know what it's going to be. Then that trope, you know it's going to be the guy that they're feuding, that's in the feud. But that trope always seems to work for me, so we'll use it here. And then before the big career match, just going to play a little video package reminding people that The Whisper debuted, or should I say The Whisper debuted last... I've ruined that joke now, haven't I? The Whisper debuted last week, and that video package just to say, hey, this guy's cool, look out for this guy. Okay, then the big main event. Will Chief Morley's career come to an end? So it's Adam Scher and Sean Morley going one-on-one. Will his career end? What do we think? Yes, it will. So Adam Scher wins. And he wins cleanly. And yeah, you see, Adam Scher does a beatdown. So if you pick a clean win, you can do a beatdown. If you pick a cheated win, you can't. That sucks. But anyway, yeah, why not? You can do a beatdown. Just to rubber stamp the fact that Sean Morley's career is now over. Right, so that's the show. Let's go. Hopefully we'll get that 60%. Oh, that was a good segment. That was better than I thought it was going to be, so that's good. Yuki's charisma is quite good, but her openness is about 12. So, yeah, I don't know if that's going to affect the segment ratings, but not for now, which is good. Yeah, that's good. Obviously, Chevrolet was a big part of that rating. Yep, that's fine, we'll take that. Good, that was kind of the point of that segment. Oh, excellent stuff. That could have been better, but VR 04 is like 57, 58, whatever it is, so perhaps to be expected. Oh, that was good. That was okay, we'll take that. Good, that's the point of that. And of course, yeah, he still didn't put much effort in, which ruins the match, but hey ho, doesn't matter. We got the 65%, so well over the 60 that we were after. That was a decent little show. I don't know why I left Shark Boy off the card. That's part of EC3 making his life a misery. He's not actually going to book it. Could have something to do with it. 176 people turned up for that. Hopefully they all had a good time. Just Shark Boy, is that your email? Because you're thinking, why didn't you book me? Book me against VR 04. Well, we'll think about it. Cheers, Jerry. That's why I pay the big bucks. Okay, right. So we've got 2 days to go. Well, 1 day, I suppose. Tuesday, that is today, and then we've got Wednesday, the 30th, and then we're into May. So let's send out the promo tape. And there's not many networks we can go on. I'm going to send it to Hulu. And the reason for that is I want to try and get on an early evening slot. I want to try and keep the early evening slot. I just want it like for Disruption is. I know Disruption's on Twitch, but I've got a feeling if I send a tape to Twitch, they won't offer me early evening because we've grown since we got that time slot. I think they'll offer me late evening, which I don't want. Whereas Hulu's late evening ratings are high, and their early evening ratings are a little bit lower, so hopefully that will help. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we send it to Hulu. That's the short version, the TLDR version. So let's see if we get the TV deal. Let's see if we get fired as well. We'll worry about that if and when it happens. Okay, will we get fired? Will we get a TV deal? Let's find out. Come on, Hulu. Hopefully the bosses at Hulu enjoyed the great fake medal ceremony segment that I booked. Okay, well, we haven't been fired, so that's encouraging. The reason why I said I was worried about getting fired was, if you have someone in your roster who's unsackable, I thought if their morale dropped so low, I mean, it can't get any lower, looking at that. I thought if their morale dropped low enough, you got fired, but I could be wrong. Hopefully I am, because otherwise this series isn't going to last much longer, I wouldn't have thought. But for now, we're still going, we're clinging to our job. Let's see what great things have occurred. So, there we go. So Viano 4 is 58, whatever he is, so we now know. Oh, that could have been a birthday cake and a pole match, that debut match there, but it wasn't. CZW potentially going bankrupt, that's good. I say it's good, is it good? Less competition for us. Our money's going up. Oh, we made money last month then, that's good. I wasn't expecting just to make money last month, especially having lost the show. I was only 1 week when we didn't have 2 shows, but yeah, so we still made money, so that's encouraging. That won't happen this month if we don't get this TV deal, so we really do need it. Thanks, Carlos. Good. Adam share t-shirts flying off the shelf, unless it's those we live in a society and it sucks t-shirts. So, I mean, there was an extra word on it, but anyway, we'll move on. Brian Johnson wants a new pay rise, which won't help our financial situation. Oh, Asuka's left. If we can bring her in, I suspect not. You never know, maybe one day. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with this. We are getting this every month, aren't we? And he's unsackable, so his contract can't expire. But there's some kind of glitch in the Matrix somewhere. I don't know why it keeps saying that, but it does. So there we go. NWA have a new TV show. Hopefully, so do we. Veronica Kane's retired. The Mexicutioner, what a great name, has retired, or will retire, I should say. Yasuka Buto has retired. Viano 4 is retiring. Okay, fair enough. Let's get that Shark Boy match in quick then, haven't we? Yasuku Kodama has announced he will retire. Okay. Zoe Sky's retiring. Mini Rey Mysterio. Titus O'Neil's retiring. No, not Titus. Vicky Guerrero. Okay. Miguelito Perez. Rick Steiner has retired. Sean Morley's retired. Chet Kopok's retired. John Filippelli, don't know who that is, has retired. Hai Dong Zhou has retired. He was I think he operates on Kurt Angle's neck, I think. Could be wrong on that one. James Cottonbill is back from his suspension. Yep, that month-long suspension. He's served his time now. Big Japan Pro Wrestling have announced their touring roster. Right, can you please let us know, have we got this TV deal? We have! We've got a TV deal, right. Okay, that's good. That's good. But then what happened to my voice then? I do apologise. I can't wait to listen to that back. Okay, so we've got a TV deal, so that's good. We need it, because otherwise we're going to go bust. And also, I want to grow the roster. So let's have a look. I mean, I'm not going to put this in. I'll sort all this in before the next video. Let's just have a quick look. Late evening. Well, that's not ideal, but hopefully, I'm going to have to take it, because... I'm going to have to take it, but... Okay, it's not ideal, but we'll take it. I mean, we could reject it, but we're not going to do that. So... Okay, well, hopefully, what I can do is, after a few weeks, if I get decent ratings, I can try and move the slot. Or do we get bad ratings to move the slot? Let's just have a quick look, because if we look at Hulu... Yeah, you see, late evening is a higher rating than early evening. And it's early evening that I wanted, so maybe if I get bad ratings... Because that's a higher rating, could that get me... Could I then move to early evening? That could be the way around it, because if you look at Twitch, and this is why I didn't send it to Twitch, their early evening's a lot lower than late evening. That's why I sent it to Hulu. Because I thought, they're not going to offer us early evening, because their ratings are... I say they're too good. According to that, they're not. But anyway, we're on Hulu now. We'll take the deal, and we'll get it sorted. Yeah, we'll come up with a name. I don't know if we're going to After Dark Reborn or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I'll think about that before the next video. Yeah, so that's good. So we've got a TV deal. I need to decide what the show is going to be called, what date it's going to be on. After Dark was on Thursdays. We could go back. We could go back onto Thursday. Oh, they've stolen our graveyard slot. That was our slot. That was After Dark. It was graveyard on. Was it graveyard on Thursday? I think it was. Wasn't it? No. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Thursday. So we can't. Yeah. So we could go back on Thursdays with that empty early evening slot. Late evening slot, I should say. Anyway, that's all to be decided in the near future and before the next video. So yeah, I think that is, for now, that's us. So, yeah, that's the end. Yeah, it's only going to be one show this video. We're already over 20, I was hoping this would be done in 20 minutes. We're going to get to 25 if I don't shut up. So, let's instead do that and let's wrap things up and end this video. So if you enjoyed this video, then please like and share the video. You can also leave a comment on the video, should you choose to do that. While you're here on YouTube, if you head on over to the channel, The Uncommentator, you'll find the rest of the videos in this playlist if you want to see how we've got to this point. You'll also find a myriad of other games that I have played, all for your viewing pleasure. If you enjoyed this series, I've done a very similar series on an older version of this game where I booked PWG. Also, if you like wrestling, I have played through WWE Crush Hour. I've also done some WrestleMania related videos. If you don't like wrestling, I'm not quite sure how you made it this far, but if that is the case, there's plenty of other content for you to enjoy, including Pokemon, Kirby, FIFA Street, South Park Rally, and everything else in between. But join me next time. We're going to be moving on. We're going to be back up to 2 shows a week. We're going to be debuting our new show on Hulu and continuing with Disruption and continuing, hopefully, to keep Adam Share happy. But until we get to that point, for now, from my good self, it is sayonara.